which we followed in our previous organizations and current organization. So I welcome you all. Let's directly get into the session. So the agenda of today's session is all about just a brief introduction about the current trends and software development methods and what and why Agile and what are the Agile frameworks, demystifying Scrum, what are the roles and artifacts involved in Scrum, ceremonies in Scrum, how Scrum works, and let us get into how user stories in a drill down to manner, and a couple of certifications that we can look as a business analyst. So I hope the people who have joined us here holds role as business analyst and Scrum master as well. So, okay. So introduction is all about. I would like to pitch on the business challenges which we are facing in our industry. So whatever the industry is all about, so the business challenges, in my understanding, whatever the pain points which the firms or an organization finds to get succeed in the markets. So that is what the business challenges is all about, and how we can address the business challenges. So with the help of technology, what are the tools and methodologies, trends, so technological help which we can seek, and we can seek help of consulting and advisory firms and consultants. So thirdly, we can follow the industry best practices that are proven in the past. Okay. So to talk about software development methodologies, we are having a couple of methodologies which are predominantly followed. Okay. Okay. So as you can see, these are some of the development methodologies which we are following in the current trends. So in which we are going to focus on waterfall model and agile as the primary focus. So what is a waterfall? So waterfall is a predominantly iterative methodology. So it is traditionally followed across all the software firms. So which involves different various phases in developing the respective software. So to talk about the phases, it starts with requirement analysis, designing and prototype, development of requirement, testing, deployment, and finally maintenance. I request kindly to maintain some sort of professionalism. So I'm facing some sort of disturbance. I kindly request you to follow some sort of professionalism across this session. So such that I can deliver. Yeah. So understanding the waterfall methodology. So basically, what is a waterfall methodology? So it is a step-by-step iterative incremental process where the development happens with passing one stage onto the other. So in the sense like on passing one phase of software development, the output of first phase will be given as the input of the second phase. So likewise, it is keep on following for the end of the process, like it ends with the maintenance. So when waterfall can be used? So projects where the requirements are freezed. So you know the clear-cut idea of what the requirement is all about, and you don't have any ambiguous and complex requirements. And when you have a duration, shorter duration of project, and so you don't have any specific requirement on technology, and these are all some of the aspects which you consider when you choose for waterfall project. So what are the pros when you talk about pros? So no adaptation. So in the sense, there is no need for adapting to the change. So the change request the change in requirement can be considered as change request. So there is no need for adaptation of any kind of change in the requirement. So it is a rigid model with the defined stages. Means like you have a set of rules and regulations that needs to be followed, and there is no confusions and complexities in following any kind of following those rules. So there are clear-cut understanding on what requirement is all about. So once you have clear-cut understanding of the requirement, your project roadmap will be defined, and the release times will be defined. So you have a clear-cut understanding of the requirement. So, as I said, we have a well understood milestones, and that will be helpful for arranging the task. And finally, you have a clear-cut documentation on the requirements, release plans, and the code or the documents, all the deliverables. So, we have a clear documentation which can be used as a future reference. So, cons. When you talk about cons, you will be able to see possible working product at only end of the development, which means that it can deviate from the customer requirement. So, and also it deals with high risk, where in terms of integrating and integration testing happens at the later stages. So where all the pain points and all the hindrances will be taking place. So that has a huge amount of risk, and no change in requirement. So this will be considered as one of the cons as well. And as I said, integration is done at the end, and challenges are not predicted. So you don't know what are the uncertainties and risks that you are going to deal with in the future. Okay. Next, we talk about agile methodology. So as you can see in the first picture, that deals with the waterfall methodology, traditional methodology. So which deals with step-by-step process, where the definition, defining the requirements, development of code, integration, testing happen in a step-by-step procedure. It means that the people who are working for code development has to wait for requirement analysis and the requirement gathering process. And same with
Hello.
integration and the testing. Hello.
Hello. Hi. Can you
Hi.
hear me?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
so I think you're not audible very well. Everyone is like letting you know in the chat. So can you please ask everyone to go on mute so we can hear you very well?
Okay. So you wanted me to mute them or like?
Yes, if you can please mute everybody else so there's no background noise.
Yes, I have done that. We have muted all.
All right. Yes. Shall we proceed?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah. So in traditional methodology, you what you deal with like a step-by-step process. So in case of agile methodology, it is both a combination of iteration as well as the incremental methodology. Means that each step, each development stage is considered as iteration, where both the testing and the development happens in a concurrent manner. So as you can see here, on the first iteration, the ideas are generated and the requirements are defined and the codes are deployed and the codes are developed and the testing happens in a concurrent manner on the same iteration. So iteration you can just name it as a fixed amount of duration that will be followed across all the throughout the process. So this is what Agile is all about. So what do you know? What benefit you get from following Agile methodology? So adaptation of changes, like changes of requirement can happen in a timely manner from the customer. So this can be easily adopted in right away by following the iterative and incremental methodology. So you can able to get real-time feedback on producing the incremental potential shippable increments at the end of each increment. So that will help us to improve us in the upcoming iterations as well as the sprints. So this is why we adopt Agile. Okay. What is the benefit that we got from Agile? Industry report says that firms which we follow adopted Agile found 66% of faster time to complete comparing to other software methodologies. And other facts are like 17% time has the same completion time compared to other software methodologies. And people also found it difficult in adopting the Agile methodologies. So due to resistance in adopting Agile from various members of the team. So there are 12% of report, and there are 5% who are reported slower completion time comparing to other software methodologies. So top reasons include, as we are into faster so we need accelerated time to enter into the market. Otherwise, your competitor will be getting into the market as much as possible. So adopting Agile favors that condition. So it improves the productivity as well, where the customer collaboration and stakeholder collaboration happens in a timely manner, and where the feedback collection happens in a timely manner. That enables us to enhance our quality and the productivity. So some of the Agile manifestos defined by people, the pioneers of Scrum, pioneers of Agile. So there are 4 Agile manifestos. Individuals and interactions over process and tools, which means instead of following tools and processes, interacting with individuals on a timely manner, like collaborating with stakeholders, or clients, or with team members, or your cross-functional teams, getting the updates on a timely manner. So that will bring out the quality, real value out of the product. That will help in bringing out good quality product. So working software over comprehensive documentation. So rather than developing detailed requirement document or functional documentation, so if you are able to show a potential shippable increment at the end of each iteration of each sprint, so that will provide bring value and customer satisfaction. And customer collaboration over contract negotiation. So customer negotiation in the sense like dealing with change request and scope creep. So rather than dealing with such kind of contract negotiation, customer collaboration will be helpful in meeting the requirement of the customer on a timely manner. So responding to a change rather than following the plan. So that's what, like change in the sense of change in the requirement or change in the taste and need of the customer. So these all 4 aspects will potential value in developing the product, not potential in developing the potential product. Some of the pros and cons and how defined waterfall versus agile over here. So we have seen enough on waterfall. Let's focus on agile. So what are the pros in agile? Following agile. Focus more on customer collaboration, upholds individuals and interactions. It advances towards working software. Yes, we need it to use it as working software rather than following the complete set of documentation. It enhances the delivery, faster delivery, rather than waiting for a complete product to be developed at the end of development is completed. Rather than you are giving out the potential shippable increment that will enhance the customer value. So some of the cons, documentation, waterfall, you don't have pre-documentation or deliverables that needs to be followed, and difficulty in building a great design. So as this change has been adopted, so it becomes difficult for us to adopt or build a define the prototype or define the wireframes or define set of rules to follow, and lack of emphasis in necessary design. So as I said, there is no prototype or proper prototype designs and wireframes that has been done in our prior knowledge, and can easily get off track if the goal is unclear. Yes. So since we are aware of changes in the requirement, there are chances of deviating from the customer. So the risk is pretty much high. So difficulty in assessing efforts required at the beginning. Yes. So when you don't have a clear set of requirements or a clear plan of what we are going to develop, so it becomes difficult to provide estimates or provide a proper set of costings and estimations at the beginning itself. So these are all some of the pros and cons when compared to that. So what you can develop with adopting a agile. So while developing a minimal viable product, we should consider. So the first phase deals with what while developing the car, manufacturing the car. So we are able to see that first is we are able to manufacture the single wheel tire and body tire, then come the body of the car, then come the entire car has been manufactured. So this is the most common method that has been blindly followed. So what actually MVP is about? So it is dealing with what the trend is about, what the requirement of the users and users is about, and what exactly the client requires. So likewise, you can bring out a clarity. Yes, let's talk about Agile framework. So when we talk about Agile framework, Agile is an umbrella. It's all the frameworks like Scrum, Crystal, Kanban, XP. So these are all termed under the term called Agile, where all the frameworks, like even though they are categorized under Agile, these frameworks has their own set of rules, procedures, and roles, actors, and ceremonies to be followed independently. That will differ. So today we are going to talk about Scrum in detail. So what is a Scrum? So I can put it in a layman term. A Scrum is nothing but splitting a large complex part into smaller piece of work. So it is like a combination of cross-functional team and many designations, people with various designations, various deliverables, and various artifacts, and various ceremonies who commonly works towards a common goal in achieving a quality product. So that is what I follow. I can picture like a culture. So a culture that team adopt to getting the common output.
Sir, we can't hear you well.
Yeah, hello. Am I audible now?
A bit better. I think there's a fan noise.
One second. Let me turn off.
Fan noise is coming, sir.
Hello. Is it fine now?
Yeah, now it's fine. I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. It's better.
Yes. Yeah, it's better.
Okay. So as I said, Scrum can be defined as a culture in which all the members from having various roles and various functions come together in a collaborative manner, following a common set of principles and artifacts, and adapting to a common goal. So that will lead to a development of a quality product. So this is what Scrum is all about. Rather than a framework, I could say it as a culture. So this also lead to a productivity and problem solving of the customer. So roles in Scrum. Predominantly there are 3 roles. One is product owner, second is Scrum Master, and finally the Scrum team. So who is a product owner? Product owner is the one who primarily involves with the end user, or the customer, or the client. So I could say that in my current company, the product owner was handled by a person from marketing and sales team. So wherein he has the clear understanding of the pain points of the customer and the current trends and market scenarios. So he will be much appropriate person in developing a relevant product. So a product owner. So what a product owner will be doing in Scrum. So product owner will be responsible for writing the user stories. Mainly his what is the user story? So user story is a miniature or minute requirement which the product owner has been gathered across by following a competitor research or requirement from the customer or trends that has been followed in the industries. So these are all inputs that can be put as a user stories, and he is the representative of the users. So he should be clearly expressing what items that are stored in the backlog. A backlog is nothing but a collection of user stories. So a product owner, then he should be responsible for prioritizing it on a timely manner. So what do you mean by prioritization? So requirement prioritization is complexity of the story, or need of the customer, or potential requirement that should be released to the market. So these are all the priorities that can be considered while prioritizing the user stories. So he also ensures that the visibilities, and what a product owner does, like he deals with a team or he interacts with a Scrum team. No, the interaction with Scrum team will happen. That will be done by Scrum Master. Okay, next comes the Scrum team. So what is a Scrum team? So a Scrum team can be a combination of development team, developers, testers, tech lead, and test lead, and the product owner and Scrum master. So these are collectively called as a Scrum team. So what is the ideal size of a Scrum team? Based on the project complexity of the project, we can ideate the weight of the Scrum team to 4 to 9 persons per team, provided the project is not exceeding the 6 months of duration. So when if it deals with a large number of duration, what we can do? 25 members of team, 25 members of people in a Scrum team? The answer is no. Rather, you can split the 25 people into various Scrum teams in the combination of 4 to 9 persons per team. So, what the Scrum team exactly does? Okay, so they are responsible for the collaborative work. So they don't work for they don't require any certain instruction that needs to be pumped in from the Scrum Master or pumped in from the product owner. So they are well organized and they know their strength and weakness. So when the stories are put up in the board, so these people are responsible in taking up the stories based on their strength, skills, and sorting out those stories and working on a timely manner. So and also they and also Scrum team can write the user stories on their behalf as well, and the estimate should be provided by the Scrum teams only. So estimates in the form of hours or story points. So either things can be followed in the entire Scrum methodology. So this is what the Scrum team does, and the role of Scrum Master. So what a Scrum Master does? Scrum Master is responsible. He is a facilitator. So he whatever the problems faced by the Scrum team, he will be acting as a facilitator in removing the problems, in removing the hindrance, in removing the impediments and putting that impediments to the management and figuring out the best possible solution. This will be the primary focus of the Scrum Master. So he will be acting as a facilitator and he will act as a spokesperson for the Scrum team. So he should be like a guide, he should be a guardian for the Scrum team, and he should be facilitator for the Scrum events as well. So the main Scrum event that will be handled by Scrum Master is the daily Scrum meeting. We will talk about it later. So this is what the roles and responsibilities of a Scrum Master. So who can be a Scrum Master? So currently in the industry, like people are hiring Scrum Masters with 10 years of industry experiences, and who are developers previously, or who are hardcore developers or architect, or who had various feathers to their hats. And now even people are adopting BAs as Scrum Master. They can act as a dual role, BA comes Scrum Master as well. So this is what all about Scrum Master. So some of the artifacts in Scrum. So first thing is product backlog. And product backlog, okay. What is a product backlog? So as I said, a product backlog is maintained by product owner. So it is a collection of user stories. So it is a never ending and it will be keep on going. It can be a collection of 500 to 600 user stories, or it can be a collection of 100 stories. So as far as the count of user stories is very large in the product backlog, it means that you have a lot of work to do with. So a product backlog is a combination of collection of user stories, you can say. Then comes the sprint backlog. Sprint backlog is the prioritized user stories from the product backlog. For example, there can be 100 number of user stories in the product backlog, out of which the product owner has prioritized on a timely manner, such that he has collected 10 stories that should be considered for sprint 1. So the first prioritized 10 stories is known as sprint backlog. So these first prioritized 10 user stories will be put into sprint backlog. So where the Scrum team will be responsible for working on it. So then comes the burn down chart we will be seeing in later stage, and increment. Increment is the potential shippable increment which we will be seeing in the later stage. Okay, as I said, product backlog is the source of requirement. So where is the source of requirement comes from? It comes from the product owner in terms of user stories. stories are nothing but some requirements that has been gathered from various sources like competitor analysis and customers and stakeholders. So it can be, it is not limited. So this is a living list that never completes. Yes. So as far as the list is growing, keep growing, it means that you have enough work and ample work to do on. So yes, it is ordered based on value, risk, priority, and necessity. This ordering will be done majorly by product owner. So it is estimated by the team, as I said. While drafting a user story, it will be given to the Scrum team for the estimation. We will talk about the story estimation in detail. Okay, as I said, this is a sprint backlog. The project owner or the product owner, stakeholders, or project team members who are capable of, who are having the authorization to write the user stories. Those user stories will be put in the product backlog. So this product, the prioritized stories from the product backlog will be considered for sprint backlog. Okay, what is a potential shippable increment? So a potential shippable increment is nothing but whatever the prioritized stories which you have, which you valued, or which you prioritized which was prioritized by the product owner. So that will deal with developing a particular smaller module. So which is working perfectly fine. That will be potential enough to that can be showed as a showcase to the all the stakeholders and the customers and the clients or the end users. So this is what the potential shippable increment is about. So for example, if you are developing an e-commerce website, the first sprint, the potential shippable increment of the first sprint can be a login page. So the working of a login page can be considered for the demo, and it can be showcased to the customers or the users. So this login page is considered as a potential shippable increment. So this is like potential shippable, like working requirement. Okay. Next comes the burn down chart. So what is the purpose of burn down chart? So this is basically to track or to update the management on updates which the Scrum team is following. So basically, deal time and story points. The time will be depicted in the x-axis and the story points will be depicted in the y-axis. Initially, you can see that the first bar is very high, like the combination of story points comes around 160. So it means that it should be linearly decreasing as the time passes by. So when the iterations, which are like iteration 1, iteration 2, iteration 3 are getting over, the story points to be completed as a timely manner. So what if the burn down charts look like exponentially increasing manner? So that is a bad sign that which is a bad practice of a Scrum. So you should immediately take into some actions to correct your agile development. So what you can see is like the total effort in terms of story points and time for completion in terms of iterations. So here they have depicted team velocity. Let me come to what team velocity is all about. Team velocity is basically a capacity or a total number of user stories or story points that can be completed by the Scrum team. So like you can put it in this way, like for sprint 1, Scrum team is capable of completing 10 user stories with 100 story points. So it is the capacity of the Scrum team to complete stories with 100 story points. So initially for iteration 1, the team velocity will be very high. For example, 160 divided by 1.